Hi Anders, I do this small video just to explain the concept, and you are 100% correct what you think, and you have a really good video here from Tim Berners-Lee about it. The cool thing is that Wikidata makes this possible, but the concept Tim Berners-Lee speak about is not just using Wikidata, it's that you have federated search and data is represented as data. I will show you. If you take this example, this is the world oldest horse that is at Livrustkammaren, Swedish Armor Museum. So if we jump away to this article, Strife, it's about him, and here you have him on Livrustkammaren. Then this article is also in German, and the cool thing which we are using now is that we are using something that all Wikipedia articles have. That's a Wikidata object. This Wikidata object is queryable with a language called Spark. And what you do here is that you use something called RDF. So you describe this unique ID Q10601. You add labels in different languages. It's the same here, but it could be different. And then you say this item is an instance of an Oldenburger horse. And Oldenburger horse is an instance of horse breed and so on. So then this is a horse. So if you would like to know find all horses before 1700, you will get a hit on this one. This horse was then owned by object Q5938, that's Gustav Adolf. So this item here is P127, which is owned by. This is P31. So you can describe, so they have defined about 3,000 different properties. As you see, he is an object, and if I do edit on this, you can see this is qualifier. So you can say when he bought it, it was a cost, and it's P2130. And then you also add currency on that. And the start time was 1631. One big problem now on the internet, which we can see in the American debate now with Trump and so on, is that people say things and you can't find the citations, the source. So what Wikidata is trying to do is that they should have reference URLs and so on to original sources. The next step which are coming is that they have created something like Wikidata but called Wikisite. So then in that application you will store all reference or source references. And we have another owner, and he was before Gustavus, but we have no data I think on him. So that's Q154, and this person also named after Strife. So maybe we can see if, I don't know, if it's named after. So then we add his name. Other things, he was part of the Battle of Lützen. The story is, I have read, that the horse was a rather big horse, and the rest of the army was smaller horses. So the king was riding in front, but maybe he was riding a little bit too fast. And what happened was that the king was shot and the horse escaped, and he left the king, and then the horse was part of some march north and then died some months later. So we don't have an exact date when he died, but we know that he died in Wolgast, which is also another object, and that's down in Germany, I think. So what you do when you have location, you don't have location as a name. That's also an object. So that means that Volgast, uh, you have sister cities, you have some classification. Today it's part of Germany. You have the coordinates. So then you get, it's in the north of Germany, so it's in this area. Um, the weapon, city, postal code, population. And Wikidata is rather young, so it's still growing. And here you have also external identifiers. So geoname is one place. I don't really know what this is. Oh, and about Volgats, they have 37 entries. So one reason you started create Wikidata is that you don't want to repeat the same data all over. So if you have a location in one Wikipedia, then you use something called a template. And that template can get the information from Wikidata. So that means if you update in one of those Wikipedias, then Wikidata is updated and Wikidata will update the rest of them. So then you have an article in Japanese here about the city. But they still have, I think, somehow the coordinates. Normally they are up here, but now I'm lost. So that's cool. So if we go back to this, how to describe it. So current location is in the Livrustkammar's Royal Armory. And then we have a link to that. We have an image of the object, and that's a special attribute P18. No, we are no, sorry, we are right. Yeah, and the horse is depicted, avbildad, on the Gustav Adolf statue. But also, if we go to the statue, it has a link back to the horse, and he has creator, and so on and so on. And here we can have much more because it's much more famous people. So what you're building now is that you're linking data to data in a magic way. And if we look into here, then we will be down on Gustav. Let's see if we can see the horse. There it is. So this is Strife. And here you have, so what we said here, this statue depicts Gustav Adolf and the horse. And the horse is then on Livrustkammaren, which is not far away. Then you have pictures here also of famous people. But that's not added to Wikidata yet. But when this grows, you will get so much information. I can show you another. No, that is wrong. Yeah, Margareta liked Turner, so I did a test yesterday. We can show that. So what I'm doing here is that the artist creator Q159758 is Turner. And then I did a search on all his pictures that are available in Wikicommon. And this is the picture. And as all those pictures, most of them, belongs to a museum or something, then we also have coordinates. So that means that this is a search, and if I do the same search and say please display this on a map, for every picture where we have a coordinate it will be a dot. So then we can see that my understanding was that Margareta was a lot in London, and then I guess it's Tate Gallery, maybe National Museum, and so on. This is Tate, I assume. I haven't added that parameter, but we can see here is a picture, and then we are, I'm not sure. It's the National Museum. Oh, that must be National Museum. National Gallery, yeah. And what is done here, if we click at the bottom low, then you can see the query language. So it's a normal SQL. Find, here we says, give me a subject give me the subject where the creator is Turner. And then we have some special thing. If you don't have a creator, but you can have attributed to, if you're not 100% sure, then you can put the creator in this box. And then you ask what kind of type it's a painter. You get the coordinates, and then you can get also the coordinates of the collection. Collection is 195 and so on. And then you have more information, described at all, created by. And then you also can say that I would like to have this in language English Swedish. So if we take away map and do a run, we got 3,316 paintings of him, so it's a lot. Here we have his painting, and then we get the label. Here, created by. So then you can change to another language or something like that. Don't know if they are in. No, they don't have those painted in French. That's the reason. But it's enormous, powerful language, and now this is a query tool to Wikidata. And what I did was that I started creating queries for one Swedish painter called Ehrenstrahl. And then I said, please give me the paintings of Ehrenstrahl, but also people that influenced him, Charles Lebrun, Rubens, von Dyck, and so on. So then if we go out, then I get this map. So then we can see that if we go down to San Francisco, I guess it's Getty's Museum. It didn't say. Portrait of Isabella. So it's Rubens. I think he's the big star. He's the blue dots. And if we go to Helsinki, we will have Ehrenstrahl himself. And then we have the location to the museum. And this is the link directly to the museum site where we have this painting. So what I try to say, it opens up enormous possibilities, linking data to data. I feel it's bigger than internet was once in a time. So what they speak about is if you should gather a lot of information. We speak also about open link data, that's the Swedish government should publish their data so we can reuse it. So it's a big change in how we will access information. And Wikidata is an enabler. But using this Spark language could also be that you send the information not just to Wikidata, but you can also send it federated. So you say, start searching at the National Museum, what is, and then you have some parameter, and take that information, continue search on the Getty Museum in Holland, and take that information, continue search in the third place. So it's magic. And it's a big change, but it's too difficult to explain for people. And doing it 4 minutes, you will lose 95% of the people, I think. So it's not a good pitching solution, is my feeling. But maybe we can scale it down and take some parts. But the cool thing is that it's not just scalable, it's scalable that you can have more museums, but you can describe whatever. I think it's today in Wikidata it's 25 million items or something like that in it. 24 million items in it. So this will change how we access information and how we see on the information and so on and so on. That's all from this small lecture.